Welcome to the assembly video for the X-Press Archer. Now the Archer is incredibly easy to put together, and you really only need two tools to do that. The first of which is going to be a 1/2-inch socket, and the second is going to be an 1/8-inch Allen wrench key. You can also use a 1/2-inch open face wrench if you have that as well. Now, once you take all the parts out of the original box, what you should have is the main frame to the X-Press Archer, and then you need to have a total of 6 torque handles, 2 of which we already have mounted to the front of the press right now, but you should have a total of 6. These other 4 we'll show you later on where they go on the back. Then you should have 2 of the riser pads along with the pins that hold them into place. After that, you should have 2 of the X-Press cross straps, and you're going to need to have the 2 bolts, washers, and nuts that are going to hold the actual jack to the horizontal bar. So you need to have your jack as well as the pin, the safety pin. And lastly, you're going to have the actual jack handle that has 1 simple screw to hold that into place. Now, once you have all this laid out, we'll show you just how easy it is to put all this together. Once you've laid out all your parts, the first step is going to be easily mounting the main jack to the horizontal travel bar. And this is going to be simple to do because there's really only 2 holes that you have to put these bolts through. And you can just align the 2 holes on the jack itself with the 2 holes that are on the horizontal travel bar. And from there, you can just drop these bolts right down in there. And they are actually going to hold themselves into place while you mount the washer first, and then the lock nut second. You can go ahead and hand tighten them, move to the next one. And from there, just grab your 1/2-inch socket or your 1/2-inch open face wrench and firm these down. Okay, once you've mounted the jack, the next thing that you'll go ahead and do is put the riser pads onto the horizontal frame. And you know, these pads are actually reversible. One direction, the way we're going to mount them now with the pad facing in, is going to be for your standard compound bows, whereas if you're pressing a crossbow, you'll go ahead and have to turn those the opposite way. But these are reversible pads, and they're super simple to put on. You just slide them right here and put your pin right through. Okay, again, we want them facing in for the standard compound bows on both sides. Turn it in, slide it on, put your pin through. Later, if we ever need to do this same thing for a crossbow, all you have to do is, again, reverse them and always have your safety pin installed with these riser pads. Now we're going to go ahead and install the cross straps. And for this, all you need to do is pull the safety pin right here on this adjustment arm. And something that's going to be really important is that the cross straps, once they're mounted into these pins, they actually need to be slightly staggered. And what we've done to make sure that that happens is on this pin right here, you'll notice that there's actually 2 different spacers. One spacer's thick and one spacer's thin. You need to make sure that the cross strap is always between those spacers, and that on one side, if the thicker spacer is behind the strap, then on the opposite side, that thick spacer should be in front of the strap. Again, the strap needs to be between the 2 spacers, but you need to stagger the straps so that when they're mounted to the jack, they work properly. So go ahead and remove this pin, and you're going to take your cross strap. If you're working on the left side of the press, you're going to want the X-Press logo directly over that arm so that these holes are in the proper position on the jack itself. So we're going to go ahead and lay this on there. We're going to put our pin through. I'm going to go ahead and just put the smaller washer in front, feed that pin through the actual cross strap. Then I'm going to put my thicker spacer through, push the pin all the way through, and go ahead and put that right there, and that's all set to go. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. Since the thicker spacer is in the front of the strap on this side, we're going to put it on the rear of the strap here on the opposite side. So we're going to remove this pin, and we're going to go ahead and put the thicker spacer at the back. Slide this through, mount the thinner spacer through here, put your pin in. Your cross straps are already set. The last step is going to be mount our torque handles. For this, we're going to go ahead and spin the press around to show you where they go. Now for the 4 remaining torque handles that are going to be mounted on the back of the press, all you have to do is simply tighten these in. There's going to be one bolt that accepts them here on the rear of the adjustable arm. There's going to be another bolt that accepts them right here on the adjustable slide on the horizontal frame itself. So again, we're going to mount these in these 4 locations. And from there, the Express Archer is set now to be mounted properly on the actual Express stand, and then lastly, we'll finish up by mounting the handle to the jack. Now we're going to walk you through the easy steps to fully assemble an Express stand just like this one that we have here that's already assembled. And once you unpack the parts for your stand, all you're going to have is 2 of the A-frame. You're going to have 1 pack of casters that go along with that. Then you're going to have the 2 cross straps, which will be here. And then in order to assemble this whole thing, it's just a matter of 5 bolts, okay? And you can go ahead and tighten those down again using a 1/2 inch socket or a 1/2 inch open face wrench. So the first step is going to be to take the longer bolt that you have to connect this cross strap as you see here, okay? And what's important with this step is that you'll notice on your cross straps that you actually have an angled piece on the end with the hole through there where the bolt will feed. And you want to make sure that both of these tabs on both straps face one another, just like they do here. You don't want them away from one another like this. So go ahead and put both of the tabs together like this, okay? From there, you can take your bolt and you're going to feed it through one of the straps, and then you're going to take your washer and put it between the 2 straps so that there's a small space there. Then you can go ahead and take your lock nut and tighten it completely down using that 1/2 inch socket or 1/2 inch wrench. And from there, you've pretty much have your cross bracing already set up and ready to go. And then it's just a matter of easily taking one of your 4 bolts at a time and tightening that with the strap right here on each of the 4 sides. And in a matter of a minute, you'll probably have your stand already set to go. And from there, the last step would just be to take your casters, tighten them to the bottom of the A-frames, and level your stand as needed. And this is already set up and ready to mount on either an Express Pro or the Express Archer. Once your stand is assembled, it's just a matter of setting either an Express Pro or an Express Archer right down on top of it. And from there, you only have 4 bolts to tighten down. So once you've set your press on the stand, then all you have to do is take a washer, put it in place along with your lock nut, and then use your 1/2-inch wrench or your 1/2-inch socket and tighten this down all the way in all 4 corners of the stand. And once you've done that, your press is totally mounted, totally secure on this stand. And really from there, the last step that we have to do is just mount the jack handle on, and this is completely ready for operation. Now the final step for either the Express Archer or the Express Pro is to mount your jack crank handle once you've secured your press down to either the Express stand or a secure work location. And to do this, all you need to do is tighten in this one screw that's provided using an 1/8-inch Allen key. And you'll notice that there is a hole through the actual crank handle, and there's a hole on the jack itself. So it's just a matter of lining up these 2 holes and tightening that screw all the way down firmly. And once you've done that, you don't ever have to worry about this handle coming off anymore. And you're fully assembled with either the Express Pro or the Express Archer.